So I don't know if you have any question to raise. Yes?
Hello, hi. Morning. As you said in the Uncanny Valley, the characters, if they are not more like human-like, there will be fear factor is there in them. So in game characters like Darksiders Death or Kratos or in the in the World of Warcraft Lich King, those are the three characters players like to play more and like to see them more.
Yeah.
So
just I didn't follow the last. Can you put the mic on?
the characters, how they are there. They are, as Lich King and the other characters are there in World of Warcraft or Death in Darksiders, they are not more like human-like. They are more devilish than they are. Yeah. So how do players like to play them more and like to see them more?
There is two things here. First, when you talk about the Uncanny Valley, there is the physical aspect. Your characters are behaving like humans, so I mean they are jumping, they are dancing, but on the other side, they are not looking human. In that way, you are falling down in the cartoonish aspect, and therefore you have this proximity of and this like between your player and the character. Also, so first, you are not falling down in the Uncanny Valley. Also, in World of Warcraft, you are choosing your character. You are in the case of an avatar, and therefore your player create his vessel, put what he likes, put his feelings, put his will and his emotion inside this guy. So yes, in that way there is a link and this attachment on it. And regard to why they want to play more, you have seen that World of Warcraft fall in either killer, either achiever, etc., etc. So in World of Warcraft, I mean, if I want to summarize, there is everything. I mean, this kind of MMO allows everything in terms of game mechanics to answer what the players want. So I mean, if you want to play in PvP, it's for you. If you want to create a guild, it's for you. If you want just to explore, it's for you. And each time, it's rewarding. So each time you are making an action in World of Warcraft, you have those rewards. And as I say, you have two types of rewards, intrinsic and extrinsic. Yes, you gain points, you gain experience, but what is motivating in them, it's that you gain, yes, so you are proud. That's the intrinsic. And yes, to be proud of your character makes you really want to continue with it. And also you fall down in, yes, an addiction, because the more you are doing it, the more you are proud of you, the more you are succeeding, the more you are evolving, and in that way you don't want to end this endless loop, and you want really to participate in this evolution. And after that, yes, as we can see with a MMO player, you are really attached, you have this emphasis with your character. And there is also a trick, a psychological trick, is yes, you have put some time, you have put some effort, and you don't want to lose it. Therefore, you will continue to play the game, just not to lose this aspect. So, yes, you can use, and it's really, it's bad. I'm not really proud of saying it, but yes, as game designer, you should also use the tricky things that commercial use in order to sell products. I mean, there is a lot of theories about it. If you give a gift to the player, if you give a gift to someone, or if you touch him, he will be more pleased to answer you or to stay with you. So yes, we could make the I could do it here, but we don't have so much time. Does that answer your question?
I have one more question. As you said in the Myers-Briggs test indicator, that the player is described in the player psychology is described in the Myers-Briggs. So when it comes to designers, when he makes the gameplay and when he is in the production house and is working, he may choose the protagonist to win or the antagonist to win. So if he makes the antagonist win, how does the designer, is there any kind of a test indicator like Myers-Briggs to make the designer understand that why should I make the protagonist only win all the time?
Yeah, here the Myers and Briggs I talked in MDT1, I talk about it as how you can use on the player, but you can use it to design your characters, to say, okay, I will create my character that way, therefore the opposite will be this kind of Myers and Briggs, and therefore you just have to apply it for your scenario. So yes, it's also useful to design your narrative. There was a question, or if we don't have time, one last question.
Yeah, so I have a question about nowadays games are thought of more than entertainment. It is thought for more for education or management of serious disasters and things like that. And in such games, how the psychology of the users need to be considered, how the engagement factor in such games is that can be managed?
As a game design point of view, I would say you are designing a game. You are designing a board game, you are designing a card game, you are designing a RPG, you are designing maybe a serious game, etc. It's the same logic of understanding the player. As I say, you should answer them regard to something, regard to their skill. After that, yes, the topic is different, but the mechanism is the same. So, on my side, in my point of view, there is no really difference. You apply the same elements, you apply the same logic, and after that, what changed really in the game is the goal. But after that, you should think the same way your game as a journey from the beginning to the end. It's not different from, I mean, a serious game. It's not different from a serious game to a competitive game, as long as it pleases the player. And that's really, really important, especially if you want to succeed. If you want to succeed in serious gaming, it's not, yes, I will do a serious game and they will like it because of the topic. No. If you do some gamification, they will like it because there is those game elements that retain them. So yes, I hope I answer your question.
The difference between serious game and a regular game is the audience. In case of serious game, the audience is not necessarily a gamer community. They might not have been really, or they not even casual gamers in that sense. So how do you keep them engaged? That's.
I mean, on my side, even I talk about it. It's the same way of yes, you will have to say, okay, this guy, what is his interest? How does he work? What kind of game he use? What kind of software he use? Here, just for an example, if you are targeting, for example, a woman from 15 that is going on internet, most of the times she will use Facebook, and in that way, she will only rely on the mouse. And therefore, you can say, okay, so already I know that it will be all according to a mouse, what are the elements, etc., etc. So you're really knowing your player, but in his hobbies, in what he do in his personal life, will help you to design it accordingly. For example, I talk with my student about if you are a goalkeeper and if you are a defense player in football team, it means something. It means that you will put more or less effort about strategical, etc., etc. So I repeat it. Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you.